Hi everyone, I'm Zinga Johnson, and I'm here with NCGOP and Chairman Watley, where we are hosting our roundtable discussion, our second one here in Goldsboro, North Carolina. And these roundtable discussions are kind of based and centered around this one question. What kind of impact does Roy Cooper's decision-making have on places like Goldsboro, places like Hickory, North Carolina? I know in politics we love to talk about Meck County, we love to talk about Wake County. There are other counties that are also impacted very heavily and very negatively by Roy Cooper's shutdown. What impact does it have on small business owners, leaders in the community? Those are the questions we want to ask, and today we're going to be talking to a few people who have answers to those questions, and actually they may even have some things to say to Roy himself. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, Zinga Johnson. I'm here with Jimmy Dixon. How are you today, sir?
I'm very well, Zinga. Good to be with you.
Excellent. So just tell everyone first a little bit about yourself.
Okie doke, I'm Jimmy Dixon. I represent House District 4, which is Duplin and Onslow County. I actually have 4 precincts in Onslow and all of Duplin County. I'm a graduate of the University of Wake Forest, where I attended on football scholarship. Later went back home to the farm, and I've been a vegetable and turkey farmer for the last 41 years.
Excellent. Well, first of all, thank you so much for coming to our roundtable. This is our second one. We're just talking about Cooper and the impact of his decision-making up in Raleigh, in his mansion, just like Joe Biden, and how it's impacting everyday people like yourself and your constituents. So is there anything that your constituents are saying to you or anything that you've heard specifically about the lockdowns that Cooper has implemented?
There is a growing groundswell of malcontent with the manner in which he's doing things that has no observable plan behind it. He just does certain things that it appears to me that's being controlled by the Director of Health and Human Services, Dr. Mandy Cohen. There's no rhyme or reason. There's not a plan to what he's doing. We don't know where we're going. He just extended this shutdown, which is a terrible, terrible thing. And I can tell you, the folks that I come in contact with on a daily basis are asking the question, where is he taking us? And nobody can answer that question.
Seems like across the board in the Cooper administration, there's just a really huge lack of leadership, wisdom, understanding, all the things that it takes to be a good leader, would you say?
Governor Cooper has perfected one art, and that's the art of keeping his head down. He is going to stay hidden as much as he can. He does not articulate well, and the reason that I think that's true is because he takes his orders from his funders, from New York and from California, big money people. I haven't seen a unique initiative that he's put forth in his entire career.
Has he been out to where you represent?
If he has, it's been hidden. Right. I haven't been invited.
Okay. If there's anything you could say to Cooper specifically, what would that be? Like to his face, you're sitting down, you're having a coffee or whatever it is you drink, tea. What would you say to him?
I would say, Governor Cooper, I know your heritage, and your heritage is as good as mine from rural North Carolina. And I would like to know how you can justify your current actions with your family traditions and your heritage. What you're doing is not in line with the way that you were brought up, and I know that to be a fact.
Thank you so much. There you have it, folks. Jimmy Dixon, thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And you heard it, Cooper. Let's hope he listens.
Maybe he will.
Hello, everyone. I'm here with Star, and she was a guest at our second roundtable, and she had some interesting things to say about her own experience. So I kind of want to give you a first-hand or a first kind of perspective on what's going on the ground in places outside of Meck, outside of Wake County. Can you give us a little bit of details about what's been going on with you?
We own a family-owned restaurant in Snow Hill called Rouse's, my husband and I. We have experienced high food cost and only being able to set our restaurant 50%, so we have lost a huge amount of our revenue. There are some days of the week that we are not open due to the restrictions and the mandates on a restaurant. because it's so costly at this time. We are trying to come up with a plan that we can open those days to build our revenue back up. And right now we are pinching pennies. It's very difficult.
Do you know any other business owners that are kind of afraid that they will no longer be in business at some point?
I'm sure that there are several. Right now I don't know of any. We're all just trying to pull together and get everybody through this difficult time.
Okay, what's the name of your restaurant so folks can go visit it?
Rouse's Restaurant in Snow Hill.
Good. So please visit that restaurant. Do take out. We need to support these small business owners during this time. It's been really difficult. So if you were across the table at your restaurant with Roy Cooper, what would you say to him?
Let's get a plan put in place and let's get our economy built back up so everybody can get back to work and our kids can go back to school.
Right. So he came out with this, I think it was yesterday, he came out with an ad talking about building the economy, making North Carolina stronger. Are you confident in that messaging from Roy Cooper right now?
I've got to see something in action. Actions speak a lot louder than words.
Excellent. Perfect. We'll end it there. Thank you so much, and I do pray that everything will come together at some point.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm here with another guest from our second roundtable. Can you introduce yourself for me?
Yes, I'm Commissioner Ray Mayo from Wayne County. I'm Commissioner of District 1.
And what do you do as far as an occupation?
I own a precision machine shop. We machine precision parts for the aerospace industry. We've been in business 42 years, and most of those years I've been here in Wayne County.
So you have you don't have the normal politician perspective on all of this because you're a business owner, right?
Well, I have a dual perspective on this because I am a politician as well as a small business owner, yes.
Excellent. I like it. So as a county commissioner, what are you hearing on the ground about the lockdowns so far as Roy Cooper is concerned?
I'm hearing countywide that the citizens of Wayne County want the Wayne County commissioners and our health department to make decisions as far as the COVID restrictions ourselves on a county basis. One size doesn't fit all. Every county in North Carolina is different. Us commissioners and our health department here in Wayne County know our county better than anyone else in the state. And we are advocating, give us more authority here in our own county to make restrictions and move forward with our economy.
So it sounded like during the roundtable that your main issue, or one of your main issues at least, is that there's a lot of executive overreach as far as the counties are concerned.
There is a lot of overreach because one size does not fit all. And each county should have a say-so, at least some input. So far, we haven't had any input as to what happens in our county, as you saw in our interviews inside our discussions. We need to be at the table, each county individually, and that has just not happened.
Mm-hmm. So if you were to have a beer or a cup of coffee with Roy Cooper, what would you say to him right now?
I would ask Governor Cooper to stop looking at the data only. Is to get out on and put the boots on the ground and go to each county and sit down with commissioners and health departments and find out why, if this county only has 5 hospitalizations, for example, and 100 positive cases, why are we being classified, or that county being classified, in the same position as Charlotte or Raleigh or Greensboro? So I would urge him to look, get out here and communicate with the counties so we can move our economy forward, but also do it safely.
I think that's all people are asking for, communication and a plan.
Yes.
But you can't have a well-rounded plan without having well-rounded leadership, which means you look at the science and data and you talk to people on the ground.
Yes, and you do not leave the 100 counties involved. You give them a seat at the table. Mm-hmm. We have to have, because keep in mind, as a Wayne County Commissioner, When I leave my home every morning, every day of the year, I'm looking at my constituents. I'm amongst them every day. I'm accountable to them. Mm-hmm. I can't be accountable if I don't know what's going on at the state level.
Right. Well, we appreciate your leadership here in Wayne County and upholding liberties and rights, especially for small business owners. And I thank you so much for coming to this roundtable discussion.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Hello, I'm here with Jill, the host of the roundtable today. Thank you so much for doing
You're
this.
You're very welcome. Very welcome.
So, Jill made a bunch of wonderful points during the roundtable, and I just kind of wanted to go through them as much as we both can remember.
Exactly.
But one of the things I want you to explain, because I've never owned a business. Mm-hmm. The most I've ever done business-wise is a little bit of photography on the side. I've never had to pay anyone or anything like that. And so from your perspective, what has it been like with this lockdown, owning two businesses, not even one?
Well, first of all, you have to be very confident that you can do the job. Mm-hmm. When we were notified in March that we were going to have to close our businesses, our dining rooms, like I said to somebody else, my heart sunk. Mm-hmm. You know, where do we go? We have employees. We have not just our employees, but we have our guests, our employees and their families, and also my family. And what are we going to do to make sure that we take care of them? We at first thought we were only going to be closed 2 weeks. And then it ended up being 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. And during that time, we just kept waiting and waiting for somebody to tell us what we can do, what we need to plan. Because you just can't all of a sudden order food. Mm-hmm. You just can't all of a sudden order your small wares. You have to have a plan in place. So when we were finally told our plan, we realized that it was going to be a lot of expenses. It really is. Changing out your utensils every 30 minutes. You have to buy 3 and 4 sets of utensils for our buffet bars because we do operate a buffet. You have to make sure that you have gloves and sanitizer. You also have to make sure that you have a sanitation person going around your restaurant to make sure things are being sanitized at the table and at the doors and everywhere. So then you add additional labor. And then on top of that, the food costs are just astronomical now. So by opening our business up into the dining room, we knew that our costs were going to go completely skyrocket. But it was something that we wanted to do, and we're having to watch every little penny we make or we earn so that we can make sure that we're able to pay our employees so they can keep their jobs.
Right. So it doesn't sound like you have a problem with complying with the rules, the regulations. It's more so the effects of those things.
It is. My first job is to make sure that our employees and our guests are safe. And we've done that through the years. We just celebrated our 50th anniversary. And one of my big, huge focuses is cleanliness and safety. And that's always been a huge part of our business. I don't have a problem with making sure our customers are safe. Right. What my problem is the plan that was put into place. In some aspects, it's not realistic. It's very difficult. And what would happen if I'd only been open a year? But I have been open 50 years for our family, and we were able to do that. We have the experience, and I think through this virus and all of the issues we're going through, that it's going to take strong-minded business people to keep their businesses open, and that's kind of where I've been trying to help other businesses and saying, okay, let's get together. We've had meetings here. What are you doing? What are you not doing? How can we work together to make sure we all survive?
So have you talked to any other business owners who may have, unfortunately, been open for only a year and they're hurting right now?
Yes. Unfortunately, I know of maybe 2 or 3 in Wayne County, and it's very sad. Especially our bars. Our bars downtown. A friend of mine is planning on opening back in March her bar that she's been working on. It's a wine bar, and it's a great little place. She hasn't been able to open yet.
Right.
And it's very sad. They put their life savings into a business to open, and they can't open it yet. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think of business owner, and they think mega rich dollars, but that's not necessarily the case.
Especially nowadays, as my father said, he used to be able to open up the doors and let the air conditioning flow out. Oh no, you seal those doors really tight now because every penny that comes in is already allotted to something else. Right. The cost of doing business now the increases are enormous.
Right.
Yeah.
So have you heard anything on the ground, like when your customers come in, some of your employees maybe, or maybe other business owners that are just like, they don't know what to do, or is it positive? Is it negative? What are you hearing?
We're hearing a big mix of things. We have had several customers come in that because I am asking them to wear a mask inside the business, and while they're eating, not to wear it. You can't eat through a mask. Take your mask off. I have to put the straw up to my mouth a couple of times to shake a chip with the mask on, but they refused to come in. They said, we're not going to come in there if you're going to mandate that we have to wear a mask. I said, I'm not mandating, I'm just asking you. And then I've had other customers that say, well, if you're not going to make people wear it, we're not going to come in. So it's a very sticky situation that we're in the business, because I'm not going to refuse service to anyone. I mean, you can't. You don't wear a mask, I'm not going to say you can't come in. I have been told in other businesses that I cannot come in if I'm not wearing a mask. So we're all concerned because we're all still not knowing. Right. It's the fear of not knowing, and I'm a planner. And like I said earlier, is that if we can just have a plan, and a common sense plan, a realistic plan, we can deviate from it. But when you don't have a plan, there's chaos, and no one is leading, especially the hospitality industry right now, as far as saying, okay, we're fighting for this, we're doing this. They may be in the larger cities, but in Goldsboro, Wayne County, we're fighting on our own. Right. So we got together, and we're working together as restaurants and bars and hospitality in Wayne County with our county commissioners.
And it doesn't sound like you care about the political divide either. You don't care about the party thing.
No, I really don't care, because right now, whether you're Republican or Democrat, Libertarian, Independent, whatever you are, this is business. I'm afraid that what's happening is that people are putting politics over our constituents in the states. They're putting it over North Carolinians. And right now, North Carolinians are suffering. Doesn't matter. We need to get this economy back going, and we need to make sure that we're taking care of the small farmer, the small business owner, because we're being forgotten. And so we're having to do it on our own, which shows strength that we're a strong North Carolinian also.
Good. So you're at Pizza Inn. Cooper walks through the door, okay? He gets a sweet tea. You sit down with him. What do you say to him?
Are you sure he didn't order unsweet?
It may be unsweet because he's been in New York a lot.
Sorry about that one. First, I'd like to ask him what his thinking was when all of this went and happened. Why was the hospitality industry such a focal point? Mandy Cohen, she constantly talked about restaurant, bars, restaurants. Why? Because in my opinion, after going through these last few weeks of 50%, we could have been doing this all along. We could have easily been operating our businesses the same way. It hasn't stopped the spike. It's just, it's hard to know that I can go into any other business and be like sardines, and at a restaurant where it's a controlled environment. Right. That we weren't able to help facilitate that controlled environment. And he didn't ask. He didn't ask anybody other than outside of his little circle. Right. And I think that would be my largest question, my biggest question to him, is to ask, why did you not talk to the people outside of your little circle? Why not talk to the small business owners and ask them, how would you do it? I'm very fortunate that in Wayne County, my county commissioners and city council members, and even our local health department, we met here and we talked about how do you think you're going to handle this, Jill? And we worked together and made decisions that when we are able to open our buffet back when we were, we came up with a common sense solution that was good for everyone. And my question is, why didn't he? Why did we have to do it at the county level? Honestly, it should have been handled at the county level all along.
So there you have it, folks. These business owners, they want good leadership. They want communication, and they want the counties to handle the counties. Don't think that's too much to ask, but I guess it is. Thank you so much, Jill. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.